Howdy, folks. It's Form of the Crowd 909 coming to you here from the Wildcrest Rallycross course. A little bit different for me today. Most of you know me who follow this channel from my TV broadcasts for the NASCAR Euro Series and the Xfinity Series. Me commentating those races along with TLR Cyborg and EN 2726. And I really enjoy doing that. But also, I do a lot of racing as well in Project Cars 2 and a little bit in NASCAR Heat 2 as well. And I've had a few people request they want to see, me do some races and see how well I do. And I don't claim to be the best racer. I'm pretty decent oval tracks, I feel like, but the road courses and specifically rallycross are a bit of a different animal for me. But I appreciate all different types of motorsports, and I also don't usually broadcast races because I'm usually online. And Project Cars 2 has had some stability issues as far as the internet connection, and it seems like anytime you add Mixer or Twitch, as I'm using, it definitely messes with the connection of the game. So I thought, you know what, let's do something different. Let's race against the computer. We're doing the 1986 Formula One car, I believe the '98 Lotus. And this is definitely a track that's not designed for the Formula One cars of any kind. I have no idea how realistic this is. I'm guessing not that realistic, but never drove a Formula One car, and I've never done it on a rallycross course for that. So it's definitely a handful to drive. Full damage is on, which is probably a bad decision because I've done a couple tries at this before, and it ended up with me just losing a wheel along with half the field. But let's give it a go. Now, I am not the best at starts, which is fine because they usually want to pile up here anyway, and it's kind of chaotic. Definitely got to take it easy. Don't want to run into the back of these guys first lap. Gonna go ahead and take the shortcut right now along with these two other guys. To not get through that section the best. Took that really, really hard. As you can see, I lost it there. Somehow I've already managed to pass somebody.
Awesome in the first sector. That's your best split so far.
Seems like everybody who's ahead of me is kind of all bunched up.
That's your fastest lap so far.
This car has so much power to it. About took out you hit the bonds here, completely trashing. as you can see, the car is totally trashed. You know what? We're going to try something different. Obviously, need a little bit of work on that type of racing. Thought a couple practice work, but not exactly. We're going to try oval, although one that you don't typically hear much about. Ford Escort R6 1600. There's a racing version and a rallycross version. We're going to use the racing version today. This kind of reminds me of an old, I guess it's an old touring car slash stock car, though the wheels on the wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car, I should say, for us here in the United States. And we're going to do the Knock Hill Tri-Oval, the short track, the shortest track on the circuit, less than a third of a mile. This is one you don't hear a lot about because you have to go all the way down on the track configurations to get it. And we did a league race, or 2 league races actually, on Saturday for my IROC series. And we did the Stance Works 2002, like the 1973 car, and I really enjoy racing that car on this track, although the steering wheel is on the left side of the car, and some people had mentioned, like, well, since they're turning right instead of left on this oval, maybe you should try it with a European-based car with the steering wheel on the right. So we're going to give it a go. Again, I really enjoy this track. I think the speeds on this car are a little bit slower versus the Stance Works, so we'll have to see how well it goes. Use the loose default setup.
Let's focus on the lights and try and make up some places here.
This should be fun.
Keep your wits about you as well. There's a few there today. Left side. Still left. Watch left.
Ooh. Got into him just a little bit.
Clear.
It's 25 laps, but this is such a short circuit that really got to get to the front as quick as you can.
Your best first sector so far. Great job. Okay, clear. You're good. That's your fastest lap so far today.
As you can see, this is definitely more my style of racing. Love the short tracks. We were definitely beating and banging on Saturday, especially that second race.
Left.
To him just a little bit there. Inside of the 11.
Watch your left. Clear. Left side.
Took it a little too aggressive right there. Just a little
All good, you're clear now.
door-to-door action.
Behind.
Get out of my rhythm a little bit on that last lap. Had to check up. Definitely applying the pressure. Yep.
Too wide.
So I'm
left
just
side.
kind of diving in there just a little bit.
He's still there. Still there. You're clear. Great
You know, at least
second
under the
sector.
default
That's
setup, I like
so
to
far.
run it
Nice
really
work.
hard into turn one and downshift, dive into that corner, go back up into second gear. Then I go into, I guess, turn number two, and I downshift to slow up the car just a tad, go back into second, just do it all over
That's
again.
the fastest lap of the race. Good job.
I just tap the brake for just a minute in turn number two. Get on the brakes really hard in
New fastest lap
turn
of the
number
race.
one.
Good job.
I have noticed this car is not quite as sensitive on the throttle, or the braking for that matter, compared to some of the other vehicles I've run here. Took that a little wide. Now we're just kind of riding along, just trying to run smooth, consistent laps. Only a few more to go. So we've got the white flag coming out of the fountain corner.
You've won the race. Fantastic drive.
Yay. Yeah, a little more of my style. I gotta work on my rallycross skills. It's fun. I really wish they had some, at least one or two dirt track ovals, or really more ovals in this game. They've got a few, and that's better than the original Project cars, which I loved as well. Although they got rid of the Caper Monterey, which was like the 1990 stock car Lumina, which stinks. But we still have the modern stock car and a bunch of other different types of disciplines as well. So still a lot of fun to race. I definitely recommend picking up the game. Wouldn't mind doing one more track. We're going to do Woodland layout at Caldwell Park. And just for fun, I haven't raced the karts in forever. Let's give it a try. We'll make it just 10 laps. Make it summer. I used to love driving the old stock cars on the original game on this track because it's so narrow. It was really fun to just beat and bang, mainly race against the computer because there wasn't quite as much of an online following. But Project Cars 2 really does have quite a bit of online players, and I'm also in the Project Cars Racing Club, which I recommend if you are on Xbox and you buy the game. Definitely hit me up and we'll get you involved. Got a lot of different leagues that we're running and a lot of European players, but some Americans as well. We're trying to really diversify the amount of tracks we have and leagues we have. Let's see, I've got a ghost set up. Have no idea what that's for. We're just gonna go with the loose, I guess. I've no idea what I'm doing, but it'll be fun. Oh, and my steering wheel is all jacked up. Yep, see, another reason why, as you can tell, the wheel just wants to wobble and wobble. An issue with racing against the AI on many of the tracks with many of the cars is that the wheel on this Logitech 920 just violently shakes. I have no idea why. It's completely unrealistic. If I race against the online, or if I just do a test race, no issues at all. Let's see what we've got. You know what? We're gonna try an IndyCar race. I guess we'll go ahead and start. I went ahead and switched it to party chat because I don't want the other players on here to hear the broadcast and annoy them. Alright, we'll be ready to go here in just 1 second. While we're waiting, a few things Project Cars 2, did really well was the expansion of the tracks. I think they have a really good diversity of courses and layouts, and the DLC looks pretty cool as well. I wish, as I said before, I wish there was more of an oval track presence, but I am happy we've got the Monza oval, the Monza short track, which is basically an oval. We've got Daytona, Texas, Knoxville, which you just raced at, and then we also have. There's one more I'm missing now. I can't. We have Indianapolis. That's a big one. As we're racing at it right now, and I think that's it. So I think that's at least six ovals, and we have a few of the road courses that NASCAR races on, and so really appreciate that. I know that they were developing. I've even seen screenshots of where they had developed the Daytona Beach course for Project Cars 2, and for some reason they haven't released that. I'm not sure why. I don't know if there was a problem with getting the handling right, but I'm hopeful that at some point for DLC they release that as well. I know they have probably an endurance, like a Le Mans pack with the historic Le Mans, and they've even talked about setting it up to where you can do team-based endurance races where, for example, my friend Dad's Taxi, over in England, might be able to run, 4 hours of an 8-hour race, and then I can hop on and do the second half, or 3 and 3 if it's a 6-hour race. You get the idea. So we're gonna try this. Loose oval. Okay. See how well this goes. Apparently they have mechanical. Actually, I want to go back to my pit box, change the setup a little bit. We don't need nearly as much fuel in the car as we have. Laps fuel. That'll work. These Indy cars can be pretty tricky, especially on this layout. It's very easy to go into a turn and just angle it wrong or take it a little too fast whenever you're on cold tires, which we are. That can really just cause you to spin out. So we're going to try and take it easy for a lap or two and get the tires warmed up and then make a good run for the pole. I got a feeling we may have to change the setup just a little bit to be competitive, but we'll find out.
You know the drill. Bring the tires and brakes in before you give it the big one.
Nice and steady. Now we're going pretty much full speed at this point. And it's interesting with the gear ratios, you end up where I have the fastest lap so far, but you get in the fifth gear, the car wants to start to rev as you go down the backstretch, and so you want to stick it into sixth. Redlining it. I don't mind doing that for a few qualifying laps, but for the race, it may blow up our engine. I hope we get a few more guys in here and make the race a little more interesting. Usually the more cars you have, the better. So you can just tell my speed greatly reduced when I went into 6th and went into that turn. It's just hard to keep the momentum up. This guy just got the fastest lap. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to return to pit box. See what we can do. We're going to lower our radiator opening. Just kicked us out of our pit box. That was weird. But hopefully, we can get a good lap time off. As you can see, I've lost now a second behind the pole sitter. Let's give it one more try. Probably should have put less fuel in the car, but oh well. As you can see, I'm trying to downshift as I enter that turn. Keep the RPMs up and keep my acceleration going. Seems to be working so far. Got a little loose there. Yeah, did not get through that. Definitely shifted way too late. I was trying to do something a little different. That obviously didn't work. And we are definitely getting a draft off of this guy. Yeah, that's that old Molly Hatchet song, "Flirt with Disaster." That's what we're doing right here. Oh, that guy got into the wall. Well, now we're going to start third. And I tell you, it's been a while since I've raced an Indy. I don't want to make too many changes to the car, because they've certainly got a great qualifying setup in, but I'm not sure how sustainable that's going to be for the actual race. So we got 12 lap race. We'll leave the radiator opening the way it is. I have no idea if I should use ABS or not, but I guess we'll use Firestone primary. Maybe that'll help. Sometimes they say you go with what they recommend. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure how I'm on the pole. Maybe they got a penalty. I didn't see that. It's definitely an Indy start. This is fun. Alright. First to last, but lead on the outside. That's to be expected. Oh! The guy already got loose. This test, catch back up to him. I took that just a little too wide. Just looking at my speedometer. Definitely messed up there. Oh my goodness, I don't think he took any fuel. Now we're in the lead. No wonder he's driving so fast. He got 2 gallons of gas in it.
A new personal best. Great job.
That sucks. That guy is fast. Tell you what, one time I had a really fun race here with the Formula Renault cars. It used to be, I think it was Formula C, the original project cars. No, Formula 5000, I want to say. Something like that, anyway. But the cars are definitely slower, but they were so bunched up together you could really slingshot past each other. And I remember one time me and this guy, I think, ran like 10 laps side by side, swapping the lead back and forth. And then we went into turn 3 with about 2 to go, and we just got collided, got together, and racked out went flipping down in between turns 3 and 4. I definitely love this track. It's fun to run stock cars here too. They don't seem to put on the best show in real life, but they're really hard to handle but fun to drive in this game. Tell I'm starting to take on some engine damage. Running that radiator closed. We should be alright to make it to lap 12, but if it keeps rising, we'll be a little bit concerned.
Keep this up. Just that fastest lap of the race.
Sitting pretty right now, only a few more laps to go, but I'll make sure that engine doesn't start overheating. It's funny how much that extra fuel for the race run versus qualifying has had an impact on my speeds. I'm definitely about 5-6 mile an hour slower even still.
Just at your own personal best lap. Keep it up.
I noticed second and third there were really close together. And now he lost about 13 seconds. Not sure if they got together a little bit or what happened.
Last lap. This is your last lap. Hold it together and bring her home for the win.
That about gave me a heart attack right there. Yep. The guy about lost it in turn 1. Finally lost it come out of 2. Oh. Well, that was fun. After qualifying, I wasn't sure what to expect. I was really curious, the guy who took the lead early, and who I think had the really fast lap time, although somehow I ended up with the pole.
Fantastic job.
How well he would have done if he had enough fuel. It's hard to tell. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. We're going to have some more Project Cars 2 and maybe some other racing content coming on as well. And I'm Formula Crowd 909. Raise hell, praise Dale, and keep the faith.